What's up, everybody? Welcome to Defend Your Units, half of Defend Your Units. We have special guest here. Let me put up your name. I don't even have that up yet. Wow. Look at me, slacking. We got Coty Dankh here from YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. Check them out if you haven't. The link is below in the description. How's it going, Coty? Are you excited for this card coming up here?
Yeah, man, back at the Apex. Hell yeah. No, honestly, there's like we were talking about before we started, there's some fun fights on this card. Sometimes honestly, I'm never one to be like to crap on fights. Like I'll take the worst weekends are when we don't have UFC fights.
Yeah,
honestly,
it's true.
I'm not
I
gonna
say the
lie.
same thing.
I don't care how it sounds. Call me a nerd.
No, I do that too. Like on my videos, I'm like, man, this card does not look good. Like blah 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 blah. But like once Friday comes around and the weigh-ins are going on, I'm like, man, I can't wait for some fights. This is gonna be some good fights. I'm I'm a stupid hypocrite. So
yeah. No, I mean we all, don't get me wrong. I say this week in particular, like it's like, it's not great. And then last week, the main event, it wasn't like I wasn't super excited about it, but just like this week, there were some fights that I was super excited for. Some of them ended up being really exciting. I'm sure it'll be the same as this on this card,
Yeah. Yeah. So speaking of last card, what you think about it? Any fights that stuck out to you? Any fighters or?
Yeah, I mean Montel Jackson, man. I wish he could stay more active. I want to see who he's gonna fight next. I would love to see him versus who's Mr. Zesty. Oh, Peyton Talbot.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be a fun fight.
Yeah, I'd love to see that, or like Jonathan Martinez. Somebody either right outside of the top 15 or 13, 14, 15. His problem, he just hasn't been active. But, when he's active, I mean, Montel Jackson's a problem, man.
Yeah, man, he's solid. Like, I mean, the knock on him was he had knockdown power. He got tons of knockdowns. He never can get the finish and stuff like that. But last two fights, he got that knockout power all of a sudden. Yeah. But yeah, I'll go to like some of my favorite fights, like for sure was the Gene Silva Drew Dober fight. That was insane.
Yeah.
Silva is a monster, dude. Like, whew.
And now, did you hear he's trying to fight on like Tuesday Night Contender Series?
Dude, that was funny. I saw that too, and I'm like, this guy is legit crazy. Like, and I love it. I'm here for it. Give me all of Gene Silva. Like, I want more. He can fight every week. Like, this is the kind of fighter I want. I don't care if he cries. I don't care if he's hitting gloves in the middle of the ring. Just give me finishes like that and performances. Like, I'm all for it.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. I'm interested to see who they give him next, honestly, especially if he's trying to stay super active, man. Side note, speaking of, I don't know, made me think of freaking Hamza he's like, I'm going to come back and I don't want to fight for the title. It's like, hey, buddy, read the room.
That guy's not there. Like, come on, dude.
What's going on with that
dude,
guy, man?
You haven't fought in forever. You don't even know what weight class you're in, and you want a title shot? Like, come on, man. You haven't even sniffed the top 5, let alone top 10.
Top 5 crypto scammers. But
it's crazy. Yeah. But yeah, we got the Brundage, crazy no contest again.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it is what it is. Like, I just know that you should probably just never bet any fight that Cody Brundage is in, unless you're hoping for a DQ. Like, that's it.
Just take him by KO, man.
Yeah, KO, DQ. I mean, go for it. Like, every time, sprinkle it. Just because that's what he does. That's his game plan.
He's gonna shell up.
No, I was trying to be nice. But man, it's rough. Like, it just seems like every situation, it always happens with him, of all people. It's like,
I mean, I was on Malkoun heavy when he fought him, and that one hurt.
I mean, that was Malkoun's fault. I was mad. I wasn't mad at Cody. I was more mad at Malkoun because that was like really just crazy. Like, you could see that happening. Like, yeah, that's a DQ. Like, I'm not going to say anything about that one. But this one, like, for me, was a little bit more like borderline because, like, Alazan, I mean, he was literally trying to get the finish. Like, he did hit his back of the head a couple times, but it wasn't like every time like Malkoun was doing, you know what I mean?
So, yeah, I still just hate the back of the head thing. I mean, I get it because it's such a vulnerable spot, but like, it just sucks because in both scenarios, it's like that guy was getting destroyed, man. Especially in the Malkoun fight. It's like he was dead to rights, about to get finished. Like 9 times out of 10, that fight is over. Like,
yeah.
Fully just, I think he was in like a high mount up against the cage or like on his side or something. Like I think he was on his side, so he was turning away. But it's like,
yeah,
stop giving your back of the back of your head to your opponents. Like that rule incentivizes you to do the worst thing imaginable, which is give the most vulnerable spot of your entire body to your opponent.
Yep.
You know?
Pretty soon they're gonna have like a little helmet guard that you have to wear in the back of your head.
You know what? I'm open-minded to it if it makes because I hate that rule, man. Because then you got guys like Makayev who spent like 13 minutes of a fight against Perez on his knees because you can't hit him in the back and the top. You can't.
And Algeo kind of does that too with his little crazy thing like this, when he's down there. And so
I'm not gonna lie, I do that. Like I do similar stuff like that where I just chase legs, and even if I'm just like, in grappling you can get away with stuff like that, but in MMA you shouldn't be able to.
Yeah.
And like literally one time I was sitting there making fun of Algeo when he was doing that, and like my teammates are like, "You literally do that." I'm just thinking like, but that's in jiu-jitsu and MMA.
True.
And
yeah, because you can't kick, you can't strike in jiu-jitsu or anything like that. So I totally get it for you, but like MMA, you can kick, you can strike, you can do this, you can do that. It's like it's a little dicey.
Yeah, I mean, no, I hate that. The Makayev fight, I was livid. He was just on his knees for 13 minutes of the fight and wins a decision. Like, come on, man.
I know.
But,
I mean, you could debate that Perez won that fight just by more damage alone.
I'm biased because I had money on Perez, but I thought Perez won. I mean,
yeah.
Like,
I think I had money on Makayev, but I totally get it. Like, I was just like, ooh, this is gonna be a sketchy decision, even though the judges didn't think so. But I was like, I don't know.
I don't know if you can hear that lightning out there, but if I were to lose you, I'll be right back. I'll switch to my phone. Okay. It is storming like crazy. Can you hear that?
No,
okay.
Not yet. Anyways,
insane.
Where are you at?
I live in Virginia. It's just
okay. We had some crazy storms. I live near Chicago, so we had some crazy storms last night, like tornado stuff, everything. Like we had a big tree branch, like down. I think it actually was Monday night. Now that I think of it, might have been Monday night, but still, it was insane. So that might be the storms that you're getting now.
Yeah, this is crazy, man. It's loud. I had to turn you up. So
okay,
it's like an echo. I mean now.
Okay, you're good. But yeah, if you're gone, we know what happens. Well, let's go through the chat here and then we'll get to the fights right now. We got Kiwi Brew. What is up, Kiwi? Sure, man. Appreciate you coming out. We got Real Fight Picks. Appreciate you coming out as always, my brother. We got There Will Be Blood, our guy. Our Apex card's better for betting. Seems so. I'll tell you what I do like about Apex, and it's not a lot, but this is the one thing I do like. We always get the same judges that we're used to betting, so we can kind of get a little bit of a better judging, like if fights go to decision. I think they're a little bit better in the Apex, but when you go outside of the Apex, like let's say Louisville, and you get some crazy Louisville judges that we never heard of, and they're saying one fighter won 30-27 when clearly the other one won like 30-27. So I like the Apex only for that reason, because I know the judging will be a little bit better than in like any other place.
What up, 138? Yeah, Storm is a brewing. Yeah, no, Apex, you are right. Like it seems like you get the same judges.
Yeah, same judges.
Reps. I mean, it's just Las Vegas in general. You're gonna get like the A
team. The same like 5 judges if you hear a judge and you're like, oh, I know that judge, it's probably because they were at the Apex. These other judges, you're like, who the fuck is that? And you're like, oh, because they don't judge at the Apex or in Vegas or anything like that. So.
I like that they at least just throw in one. Like they
one rando, and the rando guy just fucks it up. And you're like, never again.
Split decision props, bro. The split decision props have been live this year, man.
For sure. We got Bunny Hunter in here. What's up, man? Let's make some money for sure. Montel needs to fight more. Finally, KO. I agree. Silva's a real problem. Agreed again. We got Nate in here. What's up, man? To be fair, Abdul was even dumber than Malkoun. The ref told him to stop doing it. And Malkoun did the same thing. And he was on top of him landing elbows, not just like strikes. I think Malkoun was dumber personally, but that's just me. Because Coty didn't have anywhere to go. He was a sitting duck. At least Coty against Abdul, he was trying to get that takedown and kind of up still, like on his feet. Like Coty was on his back. Like he had nowhere to go. And Malkoun's like,
Malkoun won.
Yes, back.
It definitely hurts more for Malkoun because it's like, dude, you had him dead to rights. That fight
he couldn't move, and all you had to do was actually just land legal shots. We got Ryan Jordan here. What's up, man? Another week, another dollar. Let's go. A lot of crotch sniffing. Do that. Yep, 100%. Any potential draws this card? I mean, the Choi fight, maybe. Choi and there's two of them. Choi and Algeo, because he got a point deducted against him last time and it was a draw, so maybe. Storms are brewing. Yes, sir. 138. I think all dogs are alive. Okay, all right. There's a lot. There's a decent amount in this card. Got Johnny Newquist, $10 donation. Appreciate you. Who gets a first round finish? Easy. Steve Garcia. Oh, that'd be my number one pick.
He would probably be mine too. Yep.
Let me see if there's anything else. Like I know we were kind of talking about it right before we jumped on. There's not a lot of fights where we're like, there's gonna be a finish. Like, but that fight, I think there's definitely gonna be a finish in that fight.
Someone's getting knocked out in that fight.
Yeah. Malcolm
But,
plenty. Yep.
Yeah. Exactly. No. This card, as far as I would probably say Steve Garcia for the knockout, but I do see a lot of decisions, and I do see a lot of dogs, man. Spoiler alert, I have 5 other dogs on this card.
5? I think I got a decent amount, but I don't know about 5. I think I might have 4. We'll see. South Korean parlay. From what I remember, I think I only picked 1. So I think there's like 4 on the card too. So
there is a good bit. Yeah,
I might do the anti-South Korean parlay. How about that?
Seriously, actually, now that I think of it, me too. I think I picked 1. I think I picked 1 as well, right? Yeah.
Garcia round 3, maybe. I think eventually he does get a KO. I would say early though, if I had to guess, but good idea. And then we got Rem Dog in here. Pacifist parlay, first 4 fights, and then I go over 2.5. I love that. I think it happens.
I think pacifist parlays would do well on this.
Yep.
On this card.
Tyler says he's going 2-2 for the Koreans. So it's a good gimmick. Like I said, just do the anti-Korean part. That's a gimmick too. So, but all right, let's go. Let's get into the fights here. We got the first fight. It's going to be our sloppy heavyweight fight of the night. It's going to be Muhammad Usman versus Thomas Jefferson Petersen. Who do you like?
Yeah, man. I have a lot of dogs on this card, but this isn't one of them. I think Usman should be the favorite. It's honestly getting to the point where I'm like, please, God, stop coming down because you're really going to tempt me. I was
thinking exactly the same thing, dude.
Into betting this shit show fight. I don't want to bet it. It's an awful heavyweight fight. 2 guys where I'm typically looking to fade. I've never bet on either one of them, and I'm not really trying to start Saturday. But I just feel like Usman, while he's a little lighter, he's going to be a big body for Petersen to try to take down or even muscle up against the cage for long periods of time. I think the strength advantage is actually going to be on Usman. Maybe Petersen can like big body him a little bit, but that style, I just don't really see that working. And then he's just going to be walking into range on a guy who I know he's a decision guy on paper, people say, but he's still a freak, man. Mm-hmm. And if you're just a big, slow target walking at him into range, I actually wouldn't be shocked on Usman getting the KO. I'm going to pick him by decision, but I saw plus 350, a KO, still 2 heavyweights. Usman's a big boy, man. I've seen him knock dudes out before. He can
crack, dude.
Yeah.
If he lands, he can crack. It hurts.
And Petersen's just a big old, slow, big body walking into range. Like, I could see Usman clipping him and knocking him out, man. I'll pick him by decision, but I see like decision is like minus. It's like plus 120 or something. Like, what? Maybe plus 140. I'm like, you're out of your mind. That's the worst lineup. Like, heavyweight slop fest, and you're gonna pick damn near even money on a decision prop. Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah, that's crazy too. But yeah, I'm on Usman as well. Yeah, both guys aren't great, but I like you said, I think Usman has the power advantage here, especially with this with obviously the striking. If he does use his wrestling, I do think he can get him down. I do think he's gonna be stronger, even though he's not gonna weigh more. But the thing with Usman, which is not like which is holding me back from like running to place this minus 135 line, is like he's low volume, like he's hittable, like he throws maybe one, like two combos, but mostly it's like overhand rights, like his corner's yelling at him to throw more volume every freaking fight. And like he forgets that he has a left hand. Like, and then finally he will remember one time and like throw a jab out there and land pretty good. Because he hurt Mick Parkin a couple times, but man, he had every opportunity to win that fight because Mick Parkin did not look good in that fight at all. And I think he even dropped him if I remember correctly. But
I can't
man,
remember.
or at least hurt him, maybe not dropped him. But yeah, I don't think Thomas Petersen's all that great. I think he's a little bit worse than Usman. So there's my MMA knowledge for you. I think Usman's just a little bit better, and I think he's a little bit more dangerous. And I don't think Petersen will be able to get Usman down to work his wrestling and grappling because he does have some pretty decent submissions for a heavyweight. But yeah, Usman's going to be too strong. I think he'll be fine. And then it's going to stay on the feet for probably the last 2 rounds, unless Usman feels like going for takedowns late, which we've seen him do before against Junior Tafas. So yeah, give me Usman. And like you said, man, if that line keeps getting closer to plus money, it's going to be so freaking tempting. But I want to stay away. I don't like this is one of those fights, and there's a handful of them this card. I'm staying away. Like I'm not doing any over unders. I'm not doing any props. But if you're gonna give me a good line on something that I think is gonna win, I mean, I might throw a little bit on it. Who knows? So, but I hope not. I really do. I hope everyone just keeps betting Usman so I don't have to.
Yeah,
It's one of those. Let's see. I see a lot of cage pushing in this one. I can see that too. We got Pickled Picari. What's up, man? Petersen sucks ass. I agree. Oh, I miss Baby Sharp MMA. What's up, man? Appreciate you coming out as always. That decision is priced like women's MMA for sure.
Seriously.
Does his name help with decisions? Usman? Yeah, I think it does.
Doesn't hurt.
Garcia, round 2. That could happen too for that, for sure. Crush that like button. Yeah, if you're here, hit the like button for me and us. And we'll get this party started. We'll go to round 2. Let's go to fight number 2. Where is it? We got Luana Carolina versus Lucy Pudilova. Interesting fight. Tapology lied to me and it said it was a bantamweight fight. I put in my video that it was bantamweight. But it's actually a flyweight fight. But Carolina's a good striker. She throws a lot of volume. She's tall, lengthy, keeps that range well. Good takedown defense. And if she does get taken down, she does work her way back up. She doesn't accept being on her back at all, which I do like to see from strikers anyways. Pudilova, though, she's also a solid striker, but she can be a little bit low volume. She can mix in the wrestling here and there, but she's durable. She can be hittable on the feet, and her takedown defense is just okay. But yeah, this is going to be a close women's MMA fight, but I like Carolina in this spot, actually. I think she's going to throw more volume. I think she could stay at range better. I think Pudilova's best chance to win this fight is to actually use some of her wrestling. But like I said, Carolina's takedown defense is pretty good. And if she is taken down, she does work her way up. And I don't think Pudilova's top control is all that great. So she might get some takedowns, but I just don't think she's going to be doing a lot with them. So I think this fight goes to decision. But I just think Carolina edges it out a little bit with the striking. So what do you think?
Yeah, this isn't one I'm super passionate about, man. Honestly, like
okay,
this is up there with one of the ones that would be the biggest pass on the night for me. Honestly, it's not big plus money, but I would lean with the dog, Pudilova, if I had to pick. She's the natural 135er. I mean, she's been fighting like big, strong 135ers. Girls that I think, I mean, what would Eileen Perez or Jocelyn Edwards do to Luana Carolina? I think they would throw her around. And
Oh,
I think Carolina has physical advantages against a lot of these girls at 125. She's just so much taller, longer, and just bigger. And she's also missing weight several times. But at 135, I don't think she has those physical advantages, man. Honestly, I think Pudilova is not the most skilled, and she's kind of a generalist, but she is just a naturally bigger girl. I think she'll have a strength advantage. I think she can dominate in the clinch a little bit, put her up against the clinch, or put her up against the cage. She likes to throw knees and elbows in the clinch a good bit. I think that'll be a good tool for her in this fight. At range, I agree. I think Carolina has advantages there. She's probably the better striker. She also has a horrible fight IQ, man. That girl makes weird decisions in there, like just quirky decisions. Like, I swear every Carolina fight, it's like she does something where I'm like, I don't know what the thought behind that was. But and the grappling definitely seems sus. I don't think, either girl is a great grappler, but, I think it's a close fight. I'm not passionate about it, but I'd take the slight plus money on Pudilova if I had to play it. It's a stay away from me, though.
Yeah, I know the line kind of flipped a little bit because Carolina was an underdog at one point.
Yeah,
probably
if you got big plus money on either side, you did a good job.
Yeah, this is going to be a close fight, and I could see it go either way. I know Pudilova, I mean, she has fought at 125 before, but that was like 4.5 years ago. And she's fighting, I mean, in the UFC, actually, she lost to, Justine Kish, Antonia Shevchenko, Liz Carmouche, Irene Aldana, all 125ers. So when she went down to 125, she lost all those fights in a row. Then she went back up to 135 and she was winning, she won 6 out of her last 9. So we'll see what happens. Maybe a couple years at bantamweight helped her out, but we'll see what happens on the scales. Maybe she has a tough weight cut. It's 10 pounds difference. We know she is kind of big. Like, she's not like a small bantamweight. She's 5'8", 5'7".
You talking about a tough weight cut for Pudilova?
It might be.
This is at 135 though, right?
No, it's 125. I thought it was at 135.
Where are you seeing that? Doesn't
Tapology
say it's 125?
Well,
135?
Well, earlier in the week when I did my video, it said it was at 135, but now it says it's at flyweight 125. And I even looked on like UFC website, and it's a flyweight fight.
Oh wow! Whew,
it messed me up too.
Yeah, they straight up changed that on Tapology. So Pudilova's making the weight cut down. Yeah, they must have just changed that because I was looking on Tapology like yesterday or the day before, and it said 135, 100%. So it's actually shown in my video. It says 135.
Yeah, me too. I actually looked at it to make sure. I was like, because I knew Carolina was a 125er. I'm like, okay, she's going up to bantamweight. So
yeah, I wonder if they start if it's just a mistake or if I don't know. I guess they wouldn't make it 10 pounds lighter last minute. It's probably just a mistake.
It might have been a mistake, and they didn't know until like the official, what do you want to call it, card or whatever came out. But yeah, I mean, either way, I think this fight definitely goes over. I think that's a good, easy parlay piece if you want to do that. But I would say like you said, if you got plus money on either side, I think that's the right play if you want to bet.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and like you said, if it's 125, you got to worry about Pudilova having a bad weight cut. So yeah,
we'll see. And she's
stay away fight, man. That's a pass.
Yeah. Let's see. Pickled likes Luana all day. Got her at plus 105. There you go. Pass respectfully. Agreed on the wrestling application. Pudilova's bad. I mean, she's not amazing. I'll give you that. I mean, but yeah, I'll be nice. It's a mid-low level women's MMA fight.
About as bad as it gets.
I know. We got Jaden. What's up, Jaden? Who'd they pick first? We both picked Usman first. Pink, what's up, man? A grappler with 27% takedown accuracy coming off 2 losses versus a striker with a 76% takedown defense coming off 2 wins as an underdog in grapple-heavy fights. Who do you like, Pink? I know you're a women's MMA heavy, so let me know what you got. Plus 3.5 is live here. Yeah, for whoever's 3.5, definitely, for sure. Tapology had it wrong in the beginning of the week. Okay. Makes sense. Solid state still. Oh yeah, for sure. Probably. Yeah. And Pooty is duty. There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Fight number 3. Let me get to it. We got Loik Radzhabov versus Trey Ogden. Who do you like?
Yeah, I have a bet on Ogden here, plus 125. I bet Radzhabov in his last fight against Al-Sawadi.
I was lucky.
Good line on that, and yeah, that was a fun cash. But you know, that it's just styles make fights, and I do like Loic. I think he's good, man. People been sleeping on this marathon gym, man. This I mean, obviously it's not a huge group, and obviously Armfield did just lose, but honestly, like wow, I'm blanking on his name. Who's the dude? The comeback kid just pulled off that sick fight against Armfield. What's his name? Bam Bam. Oh my god. Anyways, like that's not a bad loss.
Brady?
Yeah, Bam Bam Brady.
There you
go. Yeah. No, that's not a bad loss. And they just got Miles.
Johns.
Miles. Yeah, he's fighting. He's training over there too. Let's be honest, those guys over there are taking their strength conditioning very seriously. They have very good strength and conditioning and supplements.
Are you trying to insinuate something?
No, they just have really, really good vitamins over there. But Loic
insider information.
His own vitamins. Okay, so this is the battle of 2 vitamin filled. But you know, I think Loic, he is a big body, so it's not going to be easy for Trey to like. Because the thing I like about Trey, man, if you're betting him, especially at dog odds, you know this guy, he's the head coach over there now, and you can see it in his game, man. He brings like a really methodical approach to his fights, and you can tell like he does not give a crap about entertaining or doing it. He is trying to win rounds and take the least amount of damage to win the round and win the fight. Mm-hmm. And you know, I don't think it's going to be as easy to get on top of Loic when Loic's fresh because he's a big, strong, vitamin-filled up dude. But, you know, he does get tired. We've seen Loic get tired. I think later on in the fight, we could see Trey be able to get on top of him. And I think Loic, like, he's good on top. But I don't think this guy's going to be – I think he's going to be a little bit of a fish out of water if Trey can get on top of him, get the dominant position. Especially because Trey's style is so position over submission. He's not going to hunt the finish overly. He's going to take his time, just, you know, pin him, control him, land shots when he can. And I think before the takedown, now don't get me wrong, that first round is going to be dangerous, but I think he can chip away with the leg kicks, man. I've seen Radzhabov get hit, you know, with leg kicks a lot. And I think he could implement those leg kicks that we've seen Trey Ogden do. I think he could just like, you know, make it a little slow, a little bit of a kickboxing match and chip away at his legs. And then the second half of the fight, start shooting these takedowns. If he can get one takedown, I think he can stay on top for a while. So give me Trey Ogden plus money. You know, Loic is a big old freak. I don't like betting against him, but I think Trey's just more well-rounded, just better. So
I agree with everything that you said. Like Loic's dangerous early. He's super strong. He can get those takedowns early, but man, as the fight goes on, he wears down and his takedowns are sloppy. Like yes, he did get that. I think was it 3rd round knockout, but which is a good for him. But like man, he was looking on his way to losing that fight, and I mean he got the knockout, which is great for him. But I mean I think Ogden's gonna be. He's a safe fighter, like super safe. He takes what you give him. I mean, if you're going to give him striking at range all day, guess what he's going to do? Striking at range. He'll leg kick you and jab you to death. If you try to take him down, you know, he's going to defend those takedowns, wait for you to wear down, and he's going to take you down. And Loic's takedown defense isn't that great. I think Ogden can get him down, keep him controlled. And, you know, Ogden's never been knocked out in his career either. So he's a tough guy. I see a lot of grappling from Ogden or staying at range, one of the two. And I think Loic's going to be the one. He's going to be a little bit more confused out there. Like, what should I do? Like, should I strike with this guy? Like, he's like, I don't know. We'll see. This is just my conspiracy theory happening there. But I like Ogden here, though. I just think, like you said, better overall fighter. I think he's more well-rounded. It's just the power that Loic has worries me just ever so slightly early. But if Ogden gets that wrestling and grappling going, and even if he can just push him up against the cage, hold him up there, wear on Loic in the first round, like that'll pay dividends for rounds 2 and 3, 100%. So as long as he's safe in the first round, I'll really like Trey Ogden to win that fight. So yeah, I'm gonna say Ogden by decision, but it wouldn't really shock me too much if it's like a 3rd round finish or something like that. Maybe like a submission or ground and pound knockout or something like that. If Loic gets too tired and he doesn't feel like finishing the fight or does something stupid. So we'll see. Yeah, but if you got him at big plus money, like plus 130, 125, I mean, for Trey Ogden, I think that's great. I think that's a good bet, 100%.
A sneaky little look, speaking of the finish, man, it's kind of giving me the I hit Moicano at like 15-1 via TKO over Jalen Turner in that fight. And it's giving me a sneaky, like, it reminds me of that a little bit because, you know, Trey Ogden, obviously no knockouts in his career, not known for, you know, the knockout, but it's like 16-1 right now. I'm just going to sit back. I don't know. I don't see it as clear in the Jalen Turner fight. It's like the path had already been laid out. We haven't really seen anybody do that to Loic, but I have seen him slow down. And the only thing that, you know, keeps me away from it is because, like I said, Trey is so willing to not get the finish and just take his time. If he thinks for a second that opening up on some of the elbows is going to give Loic a chance to escape, he's just not going to do it. He's going to keep control. But, you know, 16-1, it starts getting a little tempting because I could see Loic being slow, you know, being gassed out by like the end of the second. Trey Ogden mounts him and just starts throwing ground and pound, and the ref just stops it.
Yeah.
I could see that happening, man. So I love those bets when it's like somebody has a really everybody's like, oh, if he wins, it's going to be a submission. But like sometimes they get into these positions where the submission's there, but they just keep throwing and the ref stops it. I love taking bets like when you can get like huge plus money and it's not what they tend to do. But, you know, if you mount somebody, yeah, the submission's there. But a lot of times the punches are too. So it's like 50-50 which one they're going to take. Sometimes they might just be feeling, I'm good here. Let's get this knockout.
Yeah.
Or, you know, for whatever reason. But 16-1, worth taking a look at. I have it written down, but haven't played it. I do have Ogden bet though, plus 125.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, yeah, as long as Ogden doesn't, you know, pull a Jason or Malkoun there, we're good.
Yeah.
So just make sure you hit him legally, not illegally. We got Covert bets. What's up, Covert? He said, "What's up, guys? I bet Loic." All right. Nate says, I had Ogden at plus 140, but cashed out. Why? That's a good bet, man. But yeah, it's gonna be a close fight. I do think it goes to decision. So I mean, we'll see what happens. Pinning is winning. Live bet Ogden after the first. That's a good strategy there. Johnny, you see UFC is booking Brian Battle a free win against another Frenchie. I do. I like that. I like Battle in that fight. Now I'm trying to remember who he's fighting. Who is he fighting?
I feel like I just
saw it. And I was like, I like Battle in this one. I'll have to look it up. Let's see if he can maintain his range and stuff. The wrestling abilities, he has it all the way to the judges. Let's see. I'll bet this fight once I see a couple minutes. There you go. Yeah, you could probably see how the fight's gonna end up playing out. We got Ryan Matthews in here. What's up, Ryan? I just got here, but who's the great value, Coty?
The funny thing is, my name's Coty too.
I know. It's Coty Dankh. I had to get a Coty on, so I had to get some Coty love again because he hasn't been here.
Blood money is
Josette. There it is. That's why I was actually thinking of like a real Frenchie, but he is French, so I will say that. But all right, next one here we got is gonna be Miranda Maverick versus Dione Barbosa. So I'll go ahead and go for this one. Yeah, I like Maverick. I'm not going to sugarcoat it too much here. She is well-rounded. She's got pretty good striking, pretty good wrestling, pretty good grappling. Her takedown defense against pretty good wrestlers isn't that great, but like when she's fighting mediocre fighters, she does well. Let's see, she's got good cardio and she's durable. She had a full camp for this fight. Barbosa's taking this fight on short notice because Maverick was supposed to fight Tracy Cortez, and we all know what happened with that. But Barbosa, though, she's a good grappler. Her striking is, decent to be nice, but she's more so a grappler. She has okay cardio. She did slow down in her last fight. I personally think she didn't win that fight, but it is what it is. She's durable. Her takedowns, when she does try to go for them, are mainly trips. She doesn't really do traditional like single legs and stuff like that. She tries to get you up against the cage and work for takedowns there. But her takedown defense isn't all that great either. But she doesn't mind playing off her back because she's more so a grappler. But yeah, like I said, I'm going with Maverick. I think she gets this one done. Barbosa might be dangerous early, but either way, like I said, I think Maverick's good enough. I don't think she's going to get submitted early or anything crazy. I think she'll probably play this one fairly safe. I'll probably keep it on the feet for the majority and maybe sneak in some takedowns here and there, but I like Maverick on the feet more so than Barbosa for sure. So give me Maverick to win by another decision. What do you think?
Yeah, much of the same, man. Honestly, like I don't have a huge take for this fight. I think Maverick wins. I think she's better everywhere. She's coming in off full camp. Barbosa short notice. Barbosa already has had, she's shown gas tank issues. Now she's coming on short notice. She was supposed to be fighting. I can't remember who she was supposed to be fighting, but like now she's fighting Miranda Maverick.
Barbosa?
Yeah. Who was she?
Oh, she was supposed to fight somebody else?
Yeah, I think so originally because Maverick was going to be fighting
Cortez. Yeah.
I can't remember who. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't official, but yeah, I think she was talking about a fight on a different date coming up soon. But regardless, still kind of short notice. Miranda Maverick, I think she should be a decent favorite, but my style is not laying 2-1 on women's MMA.
Unless you're Luana Santos.
Yeah, unless you're Weili Zhang. I ain't betting 2-1 on you against like anybody.
I just love everybody last week was like, how can you bet Luana Santos at -400? I'm like, I totally agree. And then she went out there and did that. I'm like, that was a steal, guys.
Yeah. It's just not my style of betting. I don't knock it, but like, it's just not for me, man. Like, it's just 9 times out of 10, just not. If I'm betting women's MMA, unless it's like the highest level, I'm looking for dogs. But yeah, I do think Maverick's got her covered. She has had some issue when she's fought grapplers, though. Like even Angela Lee. Holy shit, I'm tripping. Is it Andrea or Angela?
Andrea.
Friggin' veteran, and I'm thinking, did I just butcher her name? But she's got like.
Is it Angela Lee? Has it always been Angela?
No, that's Andrea. I was tripping.
I know.
But, yeah, no. Even KGB, she hit her with that judo throw. Like girls with grappling, I mean, it's solid competition, but Jasmine Jasnavicius lost to her. Erin Blanchfield, Macy Barber. When she's fought girls who can keep up with the grappling.
Those are bullies, though.
Yeah.
I don't think Barbosa's a bully.
No, and I just think the short notice and the step up in competition. I was on Barbosa in that Karikati fight, and it was a sweat. She might not have won.
I don't know.
Yeah. I probably got away with one in that one, and that I just had her by decision, and I rarely bet like I said, the only reason I bet is I had the prop, I didn't have to throw as much down. I took her by decision. I had the over in a parlay, so I was pretty invested in that fight to continue. And man, in that third, like I wasn't feeling super great, but yeah, I think Maverick should get it done, man. I'm not really jumping to the window to lay 2-1 on her. She makes fights close a lot of times, but I think she should win. I'll take her by decision as well.
There you go. Let's see. That's 4 decisions in a row. So
yeah, I have a lot of decisions on a lot of underdogs, but a lot of decisions.
Johnny, is that some kind of peach bush? Yeah. And you would think it's disgusting This is amazing. Try it out, guys, if you
Wow.
want to.
I was
Just want to let you
wondering.
know. It is fantastic for summertime. Love it. On a hot day, try it out. I thought it'd taste disgusting, like I said, but it's actually pretty good. I expect Battle to be minus 180 at least, unless the public really buys into the Kevin being at KCB. Yeah, I think Battle should be a favorite, at least minus 175, 180 for sure. I got Santos at minus 218. Steel, agreed. Barbies will gas. Yeah, 7.5. Yeah, she didn't. Yeah, she was already gassing in that other fight too. Just Ernesta couldn't finish her. We got Bet Slam with Sam. Miranda wins, and it's going to be boring. Yeah, probably. Blazin, what's up, man? He said women's MMA bets, just bet the over. Agreed. Happens most times than not. How many passes and decisions this card? Card seems decision parlay. Yeah, there's a lot of decisions and a pretty decent amount of passes. You should just not bet. I think we already went through what, 2 of them?
Yeah.
At least? Yeah. One of them at least. There's some coming up, like the next fight. 100% pass. But we'll get to there. There's like 2 or 3 coming up. I'm like, nope, don't like it.
I have 4 bets locked in on this card. I'll probably end up with a couple more because I'm a degenerate.
Oh yeah.
Hey, the real thing on weekends like this is you have a little UFC, you have a couple bets on KSW because you're a real degenerate. You have a couple bets on Octagon, couple bets on.
You do some live betting. You do some crazy parlays right before the freaking fight start, and that's what you do.
Oh, I'm betting all 4 cards, baby. We're riding until the wheels fall off.
Pink said he got Mav at minus 175 and 200. I think her finish is live. Let's go 3rd round KO. Okay, that's not a bad look actually. 3rd round Maverick. If Barbosa slows down a bit, I like it. Hope you're right. I'll bet Battle heavy at a pick 'em. For sure, I would too. I wouldn't even wait. Immediately.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. This is one of the fights that I'm staying far, far away. Brian Kelleher versus Coty Gibson. Who do you like?
Yeah, man. This, like you said, there's so many red flags. Gibson with he's had like how many knee surgeries and injuries. Kelleher literally had surgery on his spine only a couple years ago. Both guys are only losing to killers. Like they're only losing to like really good guys, but they are doing a lot of losing. So, it's kind of tough. Neither guys had the greatest UFC run, but again, good competition. I do feel like gun to my head, I'd pick Gibson to win a volume-based decision, but I really think, if you're betting this fight, you got to take some sort of like, it's a high variance, crazy fight. I wouldn't hate like a Kelleher by sub, man. I could see him snap. One thing Kelleher can do, especially if you got to think if he is compromised, what is he going to be doing? When guys are compromised, they're going to go in there and do their 2 weapons, their 1, 2, 3 weapons. And if that doesn't happen, it's going to be check, please. Or let me just survive to the end of the bell. And what Kelleher can do is he's got a nasty overhand right. And he's got his best move is his guillotine. And we've seen Gibson guillotine like 3-4 times. This dude's got a long neck that he loves throwing into these takedowns he likes to shoot. So if we see him shoot one of these sloppy double legs, Kelleher snatches up that. Even if he doesn't shoot in the clinch, sometimes Kelleher will just try to he'll just try to force the issue, force that guillotine. And I would not be shocked if he snatched a sub. I saw it at like 6-1. I haven't bet it, but I want to stay away from it. Do I want to bet on a guy with, who literally had spine surgery recently and has
lost 3 in a row, been finished 3 times in a row. Last knockout
punched Cody's head off, but still,
But then the last knockout did not look good at all. Like he got hit and he was like, "Nope, I don't even want to get up." And the ref stopped it right away.
Long ago.
No, it wasn't.
I mean, it wasn't
6 months ago.
Yeah, 6 months, but it was a pretty brutal KO for a guy who's already had a bunch of injuries and neck and back and spine.
That's what scares me with him in that fight. in this fight, with any fight, actually. Like, the spinal injuries, man, are crazy.
You can't mess with your back, spine, neck, any of that, man. So, yeah, the pick is Gibson. It feels like weird because I could see Gibson getting a sub too. So, like, fight in sub. But, you know, on Bet Online, that line was trash. So, it wasn't for me. But I guess, I'll pick Gibson by decision as the most likely outcome. But, you know, big plus money, Kelleher by sub. If you have a prop that can give you an exact sub, just take Kelleher by guillotine because it'd either be that or rear naked choke. It'd probably be the guillotine. So if it goes to the actual mat, I'm sure Gibson can probably, you know, win the grappling exchanges. But
yeah, I'm right with you too. Like, this is just a weird fight. Like, each guy has his advantages and definitely red flags. I think Kelleher's only path to victory here is if he does wrap up like a guillotine, like you said. I don't think he's going to win the majority of the striking exchanges. He might get a couple good shots in on Coty because he does like to make fights more of a brawl. But Coty is going to be I think like 3 inches taller with like a 6-inch reach advantage. It's crazy. He's going to be bigger and 7 inches of reach and 4 inches of height. So it's a little off.
Kelleher's got them T-Rex arms, man.
Yeah, man. And it's just, I don't trust that injury yet because, like I said, in that last fight, it was Cody Garbrandt. He does hit hard, but man, the way he went down after that, like, I don't know if he was fully recovered or fully ready, if you want to say, to fight in that fight because, you know, it ended pretty quick too. So not to say this Coty is as good as the other Coty, but this fight, like I said, I think this is just a stay away fight. I'm not touching this fight with a 190-foot pole. Now that you brought it up though, and you said it, like, what is fight to end by sub? I think that's actually might be the best play that I could think of.
It's hard to find that on like fight odds or best fight odds. Okay. So you have to look on individual books. I looked on Bet Online and it was like plus 150. Not really like.
I mean, it's plus money at least, but even then, like, you're rooting for a sub when a knockout is just as live.
Yeah. That's why I'm like, you know, if it wasn't for like all the surgeries and injuries, because like I would say there's like a 20% chance that somebody like legitimately just gets hurt. Like I'm not saying 20% like a twist their knee, but I'm saying with the amount of injuries and surgeries these two dudes have had, like a TKO where like somebody just like has to cover up because they like break their arm or break their freaking anything or tear their ACL, like a TKO is very possible. So I'd want like plus 250 or better, honestly, to lay the sub prop. But
even if you want to do the under 1.5, it's plus 145. But I don't know. Like I said, it's just this fight. You should just stay away. Like, don't bet it unless you want to bet something fun that's like plus 2,000, like Kelleher guillotine. There it is.
Yeah, and action does bring up a good point. There's only one guy in the UFC that you can trust that has the skullet, and that's Charles Johnson. So
that's very true. I'll get there down there. Okay, we'll go through the chat here real quick. We got Sam said I'm a New Zealander, and it goes without saying I'm a big fan of CKB, but I like Brian Battle due to his desire to finish fights. Yeah, he turned around once he went to welterweight, man. I like what I see a lot. I have 50 on Usman, Luana, Silva, and Garcia. Like it. Garcia KO. I also like it. Like it all. Gibson parlay buster, potentially.
I wouldn't trust him, bro.
But man, if Gibson was like minus 150, it'd be more intriguing.
Yeah.
But I can't at that price, man.
Oh yeah, minus 150. I'd honestly probably bet him because I'd probably do line him like minus 180.
Okay.
Minus 160.
Yeah, 175. Yeah, somewhere around there.
You know, he should be the favorite, but it's just, you know, if you can get big plus money on Kelleher by that Gilly, you know, I think that's
where it's at. Yeah. I bet Kelleher to win by twister in under 1 minute. Should I be worried?
That's a lot.
I hope he didn't bet a lot, but
bet the house.
This isn't the card. This isn't about this card, but CKB has 2 upcoming fighters in the Dana White Contender Series, and they are both world class. Navajo Sterling and Aaron Tao. So make sure you bet them both. Will do. Oh, there's two. Okay, Navajo Sterling. Gotcha. Yeah, definitely. I definitely watched Dana White Contender Series, so I'll be on the lookout for both those guys. Let's see. Fight finish. Finished 3 times in round 1. Jandiroba, what's up? He said for the win. We got any action. Effing here. What's up, man? So what's up, brothers? What about neck injury? Weak picks. He belongs on the clown show. What?
I don't know what that guy's talking about.
He's wild. Kelleher had a neck injury, if you didn't know. So
yeah. I don't know.
We need locks.
Clearly talked about that for like 5 minutes.
Can't trust a guy whose name is Boom Boom and has you just said that. Brown's coming in for the show money. You got to keep that skull. There you go. And pick. All right, next one. Let's go. Hyder Amil versus Zhang Young Lee, and this is fight number 2. I am staying far away because I need to see more from Lee and Amil. But Amil is a good striker. He's got very good power in his hands. He pushes forward. He's pretty durable. He can mix in some wrestling here and there, but he's going to keep it on the feet. Kind of push forward. He kind of reminds me a little bit of like a Tyson Nam in a way. Like he's got good striking, good power. He can be a little bit low volume, but when he lands, he lands. Lee, though, dangerous guy. He's solid grappling, good striking. He could be a little hittable on the feet, but he is durable, got good cardio. But man, this is like, I just want to see more from both these guys, which is one of the reasons why I want to just stay away. If I wanted to bet this fight, I would maybe look at the over because, again, I think this fight goes to decision. I could see some wrestling happening in this fight. I can see both guys just not being able to land that KO punch on the feet. Yeah, I don't want to say it's going to be a sloppy fight, but I just think it's going to be more of like a lower level, slower fight. And I don't know. I'm not really, I don't know. I have no good read on this fight, but I'm going to pick Lee because I do think he can mix in the ground game too if he wants to. Like I said, Amil's more so a striker, but man, he's got that power, which worries me, which is why I'm not going to bet anything on Lee because I can see a knockout. So give me Lee by decision, staying far away. Like I just need to see more from these guys, honestly.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. When the first fight, when I first saw it announced, shout out Marcel, on MMA Twitter, the GOAT. But I was thinking people were going to be on Amil, and I was going to get a good line on Lee because, you know, the undefeated record and you know, been knocking dudes out and people like him. And I bet him against Fernie inside the distance, but, you know, that was kind of like an easy matchup. Like everybody kind of knew he was going to steamroll him. This is a much tougher matchup. And I bet Lee on the money line against Blake Builder. And my God, he was kind of bothering me though, because he had him hurt like several times in that fight. And I mean, you don't want to see people sell out for the finish, but like at the same time, you can be overly cautious. And it was like, dude, there was like 3 times where I was like screaming at my TV, like, finish him. He's done. And he was like letting him recover, man. And I mean, obviously it aged decently because he ended up winning. But, you know, part of me was like, you know, certain fighters, you give them too many ways to get out of situations like that, they end up winning. You know, you when you have a chance, like he had so many chances to finish him. And, you know, I think he was like a little patient, but, you know, overall, I'd probably rather that than being overzealous like some of these guys. I think he's probably the more technical striker. I don't think either guy's going to grapple a lot here. I think Amil's going to be fighting as he always does, coming forward, winging bombs. And I think I would edge Lee to clip him coming in. Just think he's the more technical guy, but, you know, not really trying to lay like 2-1 on him. I will pick him. He's probably one of the more honestly, the way this card is, he's probably one of my more confident picks. But like, you know, it's a dog card, honestly. But you know, on this with a line like that, you know, I'm good. I won't be parlaying him. If I see some people looking for a fighter for a 2-fighter parlay, I would Lee would be on the top of the list of somebody I would throw on there. I'm not trying to count Amil out, but I think this card is tough for parlays. But
yeah, I only have one money line parlay, and one of the legs is Miranda Maverick because I just think she gets it done.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't hate Maverick and Lee would probably genuinely
it's
be
not bad at all. But it's still kind of a sweat when you think about it. You're like, well, it's not like guaranteed.
Because they're both probably going to decision.
Yeah,
so not only do you have to, they have to win the fight, but then they have to win these terrible judges' scorecards.
We are at the apex though.
Twice.
We are at the apex though.
Yeah.
They are a little bit better.
Yeah,
I will say, just a touch.
Yeah, you should have 3 mainstays in there, which is always good. You won't have the automatic split decision that you will if you're in like Denver. Yeah, I am more passionate about this next fight though.
Okay, yeah, let's get to it here. Let's see what the chat says here. Amil inside the distance if you like a sweat. Yeah, I think that's a good play. Or KO. Hyder's the rightful underdog, but he will fight to the death for your money for sure. He's tough and durable. Baby Sharp likes Amil. Let's see. Has that okay? Hyder. I had Amil round 2 against Fernie. I got him at 15-1. There you go. I like that. How was there 32 people in here? Damn, people need to get their shit together. I agree. I think people should show up. I think there's some people on Twitter. I see 105. So we'll see. We'll go with that number. I like that better. Amil round 2 as well. I like that. Lee's on my list for a parlay. I don't see Maverick as a second. Like, okay. Lee is definitely more technical striker. I agree. Hyder relies on his durability as defense and will take 1 to give 2 back. Definitely Lee on here. Okay. We got Derek Izzy. What's up, man? So get some Prowler pickles from Amanda Maverick. Yeah, she does have pickles going on, and she's selling them on her website or something. So definitely check them out. I don't know. I haven't tried them, but Maverick sucks. Dang, I think she's decent. I don't want to say she's amazing, but I don't think she sucks.
Yeah, she's solid, you know.
Yeah, she's one of those fighters you're like, she does everything pretty good, but nothing really amazing.
Yeah, I actually met her once, man. I met her for not the greatest circumstances, but her teammate put me to sleep in a jiu-jitsu tournament. She came over to check on me. Only time I've ever been put to sleep in a jiu-jitsu tournament, even though I've done like 20, 30 of them. Yeah, put to sleep in an absolute no gi final and with a loop choke and the gi. And then I woke up and like one of the first people I saw was her. She was like, "Are you good?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." And I was like, "Oh, it's Miranda Maverick." It was right after she got robbed by Macy, and I was like, "I'm sorry about that Macy decision."
That was
and
wild.
She was like, "Yeah, I get that a lot." I was like,
that's still like one of my top 3 worst robberies of all time. I'm like, oh my god, it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Like, ugh. What's up, Avery? FanDuel won't let me pick Lemos. It's got a lock symbol. Okay. I see on DraftKings it's still there, plus 110. So let's see. Agreed. Let's go Hyder. Jesus didn't tap, and neither did our boy. There you go.
Don't get me wrong, I will tap. It was a quick, you know, them loop chokes, them gi chokes will get you sometimes. This dude was like a jack. He was like 6'3" with a 6-pack, just jacked. And he was like he pulled guard / kind of just conceded a takedown. And the last thing on my mind, every other time I've been put to sleep in jiu-jitsu, I've had that moment right before where I was like, uh-oh. But this one, no. I was literally knee cut passing the side control. And I was thinking, you idiot, you're going to try to submit me when I'm like 80% through this guard pass. Like, my last thought was like, what an idiot giving up this guard pass, this free side control. Like, what an idiot going for this loop choke. And then I wake up to a ref who I've known for a long time. And he's like, "Come on, buddy, you good?" I was like, "What are you talking? What am I doing here? Why? Oh, I'm not
like, where was I? Why am I even here? Who are you?"
I've been put to sleep a couple other times, but that time was the only time in competition. So I woke up and was like, "Oh, I'm at a jiu-jitsu tournament. Oh, why am I on the mat? Oh, I just went. Oh shit, I think I lost." Like, it took that long for me to. It took like 10, 15 seconds of real time for me to realize like what happened.
That's wild.
But
Cottage don't tap, just pass out.
no, tap, please, just tap.
Let's see, Roland, what's up, man? FanDuel lets me pick Lemos. I guess that's a sign to pick Verna. Here we go. All right, next fight here, which is the start of the main card. So if you haven't hit that like button on YouTube, go ahead and hit that like button for us. And then if you haven't checked out Coty Dankh yet, check him out on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. The link is below in the description for his YouTube, so go give him a follow as well. Main card opener is going to be Doo-Ho Choi versus Bill Algeo. Who do you like?
Yeah, I like Algeo here, man. I just think like what'd you say?
We're on the same page.
Yeah. The activity, man. Like Choi, I like him. He's entertaining. He could obviously clip Algeo, early stoppage or not. You know, he did get concussed, and that wasn't that long ago. So it is kind of a worry. Choi definitely has punching power, and he'll go for it. He's willing to take one, to give one, and all that's good and all. But if you're going to give me minus 150 on the guy who's probably better everywhere as far as just MMA, he's probably the better grappler, striker, everything.
For sure.
Maybe fluid boxing I'd give to Choi.
Yeah.
And like power, of course.
Yeah.
But like, you know, the kicks even I'd give to Algeo. You know, he could mix in the grappling. He could probably take Choi down a time or two. Do I think he's going to go out here and wrestle him for 3 rounds? No, but I think he could put him up against the cage, mix in a takedown, secure a round that way. There'll probably be 2 rounds spent mostly on the feet, striking. It's going to be close. I think Algeo has a better gas tank. The activity, typically I'd say Choi could start off strong, but, you know, he's fought 1 time in how long? Like, he hasn't won a fight in like 8 years. Like, you're going to give me almost even money betting against a guy who hasn't won a fight in 8 years. Like, the draw has aged pretty well with Kyle Nelson. But math, like, don't get me wrong. I'm not a big stats guy in MMA. Like, it's all about like the tape and styles make fights. And I try to like not look too much into wins and losses and all. But at the end of the day, like, you haven't won a fight in 8 years. I don't care the reasoning. Like, you haven't had your hand raised in a cage for 8 years. And you're going to give me almost even money. Like, it's going to take a lot stylistically working against me to not want to take that. So give me Algeo minus 150. I think he's like minus 160 now. So I still think it's playable. I honestly was shocked that he was under minus 200. I get he's coming off a first round finish loss. And he was hurt. Early stoppage round, he was hurt. But it was an early stoppage. I think if they let that fight continue, win or lose, it probably goes 15. I don't think he was going to get finished. I think
he probably was going to lose that round for sure, 100%. Yeah. But you don't know what happens after the little recovery and the 30 seconds or whatever it is. 5
seconds before they stopped it, he was like, come on. Like, he ate like another shot, maybe 2, but he was like bringing him on, like, come on, bring that. I want to gas you out. Keep trying to finish me.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? You on the same page?
No, I'm on the same page with you. I like Algeo here all day. And like you said, I think Algeo's better everywhere except like just the technical boxing, if you want to say, and the power. I think Algeo's like very unorthodox striking. I think he's quicker has quicker hands. I really hope Algeo works in that grappling. He's going to have a massive advantage on the mat. He's a very good grappler. He's got very sneaky submissions. I think that's what I would do if I was him. And if he does, he's probably going to look minus 500 if he gets his fight to the mat. Now on the feet, it could play out a little bit closer, but I do think Algeo is going to give Choi some problems. And especially if this fight goes later in the rounds, I love Algeo even more. So I think, Choi is going to be dangerous early. He's got a lot of first and, second round knockouts, but, he's been knocked out a couple times in his last few fights. I mean, not to say Algeo's some big knockout guy, but I think he is dangerous for the submission. Maybe he can stun him and wrap up a guillotine or maybe a Darce choke or something like that. But I mean, the inactivity is a big issue for me too with Choi. He fought 1 time in 4.5 years. He hasn't won, like you said, in 8 years. I don't know. I just don't see it. Like you said, I'm surprised this line isn't north of minus 200 for Algeo. Like, you would think it should be, and all signs it might just be
minus 220.
Yeah, it just probably is the recency bias that he got knocked out in his last fight. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of why he's not over -1 2 or -200. So I'll say Algeo. I actually said that I think Algeo is going to get a submission. So I'm going to go with Algeo. So I'm going to break the decision streak here. I'm going to
That'd
go
be nice.
Algeo decision. I don't know what the prop is for that yet, but it might be something to look at if it's like plus 500, 600 or more. Like, I think that's awesome. Like, I think he's got a very good chance to get a submission here, even if it's club and sub, or he just, gets to fight to the bat and he takes the back. And I think it might be game over after that. So really like Algeo here too, especially at the odds too.
Yeah, no, those odds aren't bad at all, man. Honestly, I think he's the better fighter
Mm-hmm.
everywhere.
Yeah. Just as long as he doesn't get clipped early, I think he's good.
Yeah.
I got Kelleher money line. All right. I don't hate it. I don't hate it at all, bunny. Algeo Lee, $100 parlay. I don't hate it. I'm
think
just not
that's
as confident as Coty is on Lee. I will say.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not confident enough to bet it. So, that's where I'm at, but I do think Lee wins. It's just the line indicates it. I mean, he's one of the bigger favorites.
For sure.
So it's not like me saying he's one of my more confident picks. It's not too crazy because, I mean, there's not a lot of big favorites on this card, but, I think the line's about where I'd put it. Like, what is he, like -200?
Who? Lee? Yeah, he's like -190 something.
Yeah.
195.
That's
200.
probably about what I would bet it, or what I would not bet it, what I would line it.
Yeah. I really think Maverick will lose. Am I dumb? I don't get it. I don't know, man. I think Maverick's. I think that. I mean, she's fighting somebody on short notice who I don't think is all that great. Who's a good grappler, but I don't even know if she's gonna be able to take this fight to the mat. And she slows down. And I don't know. Maverick is there for all 3 rounds, 100%. So, I mean, I wouldn't say you're dumb, but it's women's MMA. Anything can happen. So I'm just high on Maverick in this fight at least.
Yeah, I think Barbosa probably can take her down early. I just think she'll slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pink said, I bet Choi as a fan, and he looked great against Kyle, and he's a cutie patootie. What? Okay. Pink. Okay. I'll let that one go. Okay. Next one's going to be Coty Durden versus Bruno Silva. This is going to be a very interesting fight. Very close fight. I was going a little bit back and forth with, but let me find him. But Coty, he's pretty well rounded. I would say he's more so a wrestler, grappler guy. He does have pretty decent striking, clean boxing. But he's going to go for takedowns. He likes to chain wrestle and go for those takedowns and keep trying until he gets it. But he is pretty durable. He can get rocked at times. He's been submitted like 4 times, which is a little bit worrisome in this fight. But he does have great cardio. He can go all 3 rounds. And Silva, like, he's well-rounded too. I would say he has the better striking. He's got good power in his hands in this matchup. He does have solid wrestling and grappling, but the thing about him, man, he's just inactive. He fights like once every year and a half, and Cody's always fighting as much as he can. And like, that's the one thing that's holding me back from picking Silva is just his inactivity. Like, yeah, he looked great against Silva looked good against Tyson Nam and got the submission, or if you want to say club and sub. He looked good against Victor Rodriguez and JP Buys, but like, it's Coty Durden's a little bit of a step up from all those guys. And Coty Durden's fighting like Tagir and Jake Hadley, Charles Johnson, like a little bit better competition as of late, and he's more active, like I said. So, yeah, I mean, I think the lines are appropriate. I don't mind anybody picking who you like here, but I'm just gonna go with Coty Durden. Bruno might have his flash moments and look good, but I just think Coty will win the minutes. I think he can get the fight to the mat. He will have to be a little bit careful with his neck. But other than that, I think as the later the fight goes, I think it'll favor Durden. So give me Durden to win. I think this will be a fun fight. I'll say by decision. I'm going to go back on the decision streak. So the over is not a bad look either. It's at -210. So maybe if you want like a little bit of a parlay leg, that's a little bit juicier. There it is. I think it hits. But Bruno's going to be live for the finish. I'd be shocked if Coty gets a finish. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't blame anybody for who they like here, but this is going to be a fun fight. Who do you like?
Yeah, I also like Durden. Yeah, man. I mean, I like both guys. I've always
I do
been
too.
pretty high on both guys. Silva is very well rounded. Um, you know, both guys durable. The real the real Achilles heel with Durden has been that sub, and Silva does have nasty chokes. Got a nasty
Yep.
guillotine. If he got to Durden's back, that's going to be bad. But I
Yep.
think the minute winner is going to be Durden. I think he should be
Yeah.
able to take Silva down. Um, and Silva's he also did get arm triangled from Khalil Taha. Now Taha was juiced up and popped afterwards, but we've seen him get taken down and dominated by a guy who I don't necessarily think he's even on the juice is better wrestler than Durden. Not trying to do too much MMA math, but I do think he's kind of a generalist. Bruno, there's a couple guys on this card like that where he's kind of just good everywhere. He's not really great anywhere. And I think as long as Durden doesn't throw his neck into a choke, he should win this fight. I bet him at minus 120. That line's still there. I just think he's going to, as long as he doesn't get choked out, he should win this fight. I don't see
Yeah.
Bruno knocking him out. I think a club and sub is live. So if you take Bruno by sub, and it has been tempting, I'm kind of waiting for it to hit more books. But maybe I hedge with Bruno by sub because I really don't see him winning.
Plus
Like
400 on DraftKings.
that's not bad. That's not bad, honestly, because I do think the way Cody's going to be shooting, that guillotine is going to be live. Like,
Yeah.
there we could see a couple gillies to say. There's going to be a lot of decisions on this card, but I could see a couple gillies getting snatched up.
Yep.
Brian Kelleher and Bruno Silva could snatch a couple gillies, but
And maybe
I'll pick
even in the
Durden,
next
bro.
fight.
So yeah, you could see another one in the next one. We'll get to
Yep.
that, but yeah, I'll pick Durden by decision. I did bet him on the money line. That's
There you
my
go.
third bet, minus 120.
I like it. Yeah, I'm watching that line. I'm hoping maybe if it gets the plus money, I might pull the trigger. But I haven't had any bets on this one yet. But that's one line I've been watching since I did my little like tape study and stuff. I was like, man, I'm gonna watch that line because I'm just not 100% sure. And it's like appropriately priced where you're like, I don't know what to do. So the best way is to just not bet until you feel comfortable betting it
Yeah,
at whatever
for
price.
sure.
Let's see. Let's go through the chat. We got Ryan. Bill Algeo is just Julian Erosa with a chin. I can see that. I like it. It's a good comparison. Maybe Erosa is a little bit more dangerous, but he has less durability.
Yeah. I feel like there's another comparison that's like on the tip of my tongue, but I can't think of it.
For Algeo?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like it's somebody that comes to mind when I think of Algeo all the time, but I cannot think of it right now off the top of my head.
Jaden said Maverick is almost a lock. I think I never say locks, but I would say she's in my top 5 picks. Let's put it that way. I got Silva. Dude's a beast. Don't blame you there. Very fair point, Ryan. I'm going to parlay him. He's a bad dude. Silva can KO or sub anytime in 15. Agreed.
Oh, Billy Q was who I was thinking of.
Okay. Yeah.
Him and Bill Algeo fight very similar, and they're both
true. Effie said, I expected people to be betting on Durden here, but the line is holding steady. Yeah, it's not really moving too much. That's why I'm like watching it. Thomas, what's up, Thomas? I think one of them will win unless it's a tie. Agreed. That's a good assessment. I like that.
Gotta get him on the show.
Durden will throw his neck into a choke. He can't help it. That could happen. Close rounds. Coty probably edges it with control time. Yeah, I would say Coty by decision or Bruno inside the distance is probably the two outcomes for both guys, how they win. That's just me. Next, here we go. This is one of the fights that I'm staying super far away from. Kurt Holobaugh versus Kanan Kruschewsky. Who do you like?
Yeah, this is a fight where I'm gonna do something similar like I did in the last time Holobaugh fought. Obviously, the last
I think
time,
I know what you're thinking. I didn't think about that. Go ahead.
When he fought Ogden, I took him inside the distance only, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing this fight because don't get me wrong. On paper, people are probably like, I don't know about that. Kanan is a finisher. He's never even been to a decision. But Holobaugh is tough, man. Yes, Burgos hit that kind of fluky armbar on him. And then who finished him? Was it It was somebody good. Who was it?
Finished 2.
Holobaugh. He got knocked out. Or like
Oh,
TKO'd. Honey Barcelos uppercut.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and Barcelos, like, especially around the time of that fight, like, dude, Barcelos was a guy, like, I still think he was so much better than, like, we ever got to see. Like, in his prime, he was a freaking beast.
Mm-hmm.
But he made me a lot of money in his prime, too. But, yeah, Holobaugh's tough, dude. Like, he's durable. And I think, Kanan has been finishing a lot of lower-level competition, a lot of guys who are there to be finished. I think and also, like, this is a really, like, I don't think I've ever said anything like this and for a part of a breakdown, but, like, when Ogden was just ragdolling Holobaugh around, Holobaugh was talking to him and he was like, "You can't finish me. You can't hurt me." He was like talking to him. I love to see that when I'm betting a prop like this, because that means he's a guy who takes pride and, like, if I'm a lose,
if he's gonna lose, I'm not
finished.
Gonna get finished. Yeah.
And I think it's such a dumb thing to, like, bring up, but honestly, like, I really do think, like, it only makes me more confident playing bets like this because I'm getting an even better line. Like, him straight is like plus 110 or something right now.
Yeah,
right?
plus 110.
But I really do feel like
105 for finish only.
Yeah, but I feel like if it goes 15, I'm not saying I think it will. I think it probably will be a finish on one side or the other. But I think if it goes 15, that would be Kanan's best way to win, would just be, like, getting on top. Holobaugh, because he's always hunting submissions, like, he'll just lose minutes. Like, typically, what is he, like, 3-6 when he goes to decision? Like, he's not very good minute winner. So, this could last card, I bet Bonfim to win by decision, and people were like, "What? Like, why would he's never wanted?" And then I said, "Dude, he just got finished. He's gonna come in a little bit more like, let me chill out and slow down, and get back on the winning side." And I think it's gonna be similar. Kanan just got blasted. He's gonna come in here and probably try to slow down a little bit. Holobaugh's durable. I think if there's a finish, it's Holobaugh. So I'm gonna pick Holobaugh by KO, man. I think he can land a shot and either club and sub or just finish him with punches. I think it's a pretty even fight. I would probably line Holobaugh like minus 120, minus 130, but I'm just gonna take inside the distance only. Decision equals a push plus 120, and I'm pretty sure that's still there on Bet Online. I like that bet.
Nice. Yeah, on DraftKings it's plus 105, but still plus money.
Yeah.
I like that bet. I did that. I actually played that bet. Now that somebody said that, I was like, oh yeah, I totally did that against Ogden. I got my money back.
Yeah.
It's not a bad bet. Yeah, this is, like I said, this is one of those fights, man. I could see it go either way. Like, I think Holobaugh is dangerous with his grappling, and I think Kruschewsky, he might have the more technical striking, but like Holobaugh's a dog. Like, he'll push forward. He doesn't care about getting hit. Like, he wants you to he got the better cardio, I think. But the one thing about him is I can actually see Kruschewsky like shoot takedowns and landing, getting on top of him and staying in control for all rounds, because Holobaugh's takedown defense is not good, like, at all. No. And he does not mind playing off his back either. He's got a lot of submissions off his back too, which is why it was good for that finish no action bet. But I'm just going to ever so slightly lean the other side with Kruschewsky, just because I can see him mixing in some takedowns. If it's a close round, he can go for the takedowns. Also, I found this out recently. He's at Fight Nerds now, which is an amazing gym, as you know, with Gene Silva, Kaio, all those good people. So maybe he's getting a little bit of, fight IQ, and they're going to be in their corner or his corner and telling him what to do after every round. So that's always a good thing too. So I'm going to lean Kruschewsky again. I'm going to say, I don't even remember what I did. Did I do a decision? I think I did. Yeah, I'm going to say by decision, because I think he's going to get this one done by decision because of the wrestling. I think he's going to stay on top and win the minutes that way.
Yeah, I mean, Fighting Nerds is a good gym, man. That's a smart move for him.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Does make me a little scared, but I think I like the inside the distance only because I agree that the decision is definitely on the table. This could be a Bonfim situation like last week.
100%. Let's see. Kanan went to decision with Mattins. It's his best win by far. Okay. Avery, I just looked at my FanDuel account and I can bet Lemos. So I don't know if it's maybe where you're at located, but yeah, where I'm at, I could bet Lemos money line. This card's super tough. Yeah, there's a lot of fights where it's just tough to bet and find spots. But man, the spots that you do find, I think you just need to attack them. Like there's some really good spots on this card, I think, with the lines. A lot of the lines are under what the biggest line, money line is like -230, and it's Cody Gibson. Like when do we ever see oh, now it's Miranda Maverick. I lied.
Yeah.
Where's Gibson? Yeah, it's
Yeah, no,
Maverick.
he did
Money's
beat
coming in on
Martin.
Kelleher. So now it's Miranda Maverick at -225. It was Cody Gibson at one point. So like we don't get cards like this anymore. So like when you see the money lines and you like a fighter with like really close odds, like just attack it. Go for single bets. You don't have to parlay everything. I love parlays. Don't get me wrong, but like this is not the parlay card
No.
for sure. Kanan will win. Ken used to have the same striking coach as Alex Pereira back when Alex was in glory. I did not know that, and that's awesome. Martin's the guy that knocked out Islam. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I think his only other decision win was like an unconfirmed early fight where you can't even like watch it or see the results. But yeah, I forgot he did beat Martins by decision.
Yep.
But
let's see.
Still not a decision guy.
True. Well, this fight's going to be a banger for however long it lasts. Steve Garcia versus Sung Woo Choi. Yeah, I love me some Steve Garcia in this fight. This guy is a reckless dog. I think he's going to be the bigger dog in this fight. Like Choi's good. He's a good striker, good technical striker. But whenever he fights someone who's going to be pushing forward and kind of be a bully and get in his face, he kind of crumbles a bit and his chin's not all that great. Not to say that Garcia's been rocked a couple times too, but he seems to recover very quickly and actually come back and win most of his fights too. So Choi, like I said, like he has to keep this fight at range and slow the fight down. Otherwise, Garcia is going to win this fight. And I just don't think Choi is going to be able to. So I do think Garcia is going to be the better grappler as well if this fight does get to the mat. But Garcia just throws bombs and he's going to be in his face. And I just don't know if Choi is going to be able to know what to do. He might shoot a panic takedown, but I don't think it's going to do anything because Choi doesn't really have the greatest wrestling either. So, yeah, I'm all over Garcia. I think he gets a first round knockout. I know John Newquist asked who would be the first round finish on this card. Garcia is 100% my number one pick. So give me Garcia by knockout.
Yeah, no, same page here, man. I got Steve Garcia first round knockout. I haven't got around to betting it yet, but he's like -140. It is like Steve Garcia has never been a guy I typically want to bet as like a favorite. The way he fights, it's like he's always live to just get chinned. I mean, Charlie on Tavares knocked this dude down like 2-3 times.
Yep.
But I do think that like the chaos he's going to bring is going to be tough for somebody like Choi, who, like you said, he wants to keep it more technical. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's been in some he's willing
the
to.
Trezano fight was crazy.
That was crazy, but honestly, like it's a little questionable. And if that's happening, like Steve Garcia puts one of them friggin' toaster.
You're not getting up.
Yeah, you're going night. So I'm gonna pick Steve Garcia as well. I'm gonna pick him to get the first round knockout. I think it probably will just be chaos for like 2.5 minutes, and somebody's gonna get knocked out. So give me Steve Garcia first round knockout. I don't know if I'm gonna end up betting it. He's definitely somebody that I've been tempted on. Him and Usman are like guys that I'm like, not guys I want to typically like minus chalk on, but I'm like, I really do feel like both should win. -130, -140. Like I have them both written down as like a maybe, but haven't bet either. Steve Garcia first round KO, but we can move on.
There you go. Yeah. Durden and Usman are the ones I'm like looking at. I'm like, Usman's at -130 now. So there is, he's going down even more. He was at -135 earlier in the show.
Yeah, Petersen's not good at all.
I know. But you're like, man, do I really trust Usman though? That's the thing. I trust Garcia 100% more than Usman. 100%.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and the lines are pretty close.
At least if Steve loses, he's probably just gonna get like he's gonna fight for
It'd be
money.
quick and easy. Yeah.
Yeah, where it'll be
It'll be a
entertaining.
slow
Whereas,
burn. You're like
you might be in like 1-1 third round. Usman's up against the cage.
the
Petersen,
judges
you
don't
hear
give you the call, and you're like,
Herb is yelling, "Let's work, let's work," and Usman's just up against the cage, thinking like, 20-20 for this fight. Like, I'll chill. Usman, my little big bro's got me, so I'll just chill. I don't have it in me to throw these. I'm not trying to get chinned. So, I don't know. I think Usman wins, but
yeah.
I don't know. It is tempting, and if they give me even money, I'm betting it. But
Yeah,
even
that's the
minus,
line. Like, give me a -110. Sure, why not? I'll roll the dice. Let's see.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm interested to see your take on this co-main, but let's see what chat talking about. Just bet the Garcia KO. Yeah, it's tempting. It is tempting.
Kanan Lee parlay. Okay. Coty just bet Garcia and KO. There you go. There you go. I like it. I'm not convinced Steve is Mexican. Chin seems more Puerto Rican to me. He's American. Steve Garcia is American, Effie. What are you talking about?
Come on. He might be Mexican American, but yeah.
No, he's American. Was he born in Mexico? I don't think so. He's American.
Yeah, but honestly, I don't think it's his chin. I just think the way he fights.
He gets clipped, but he's got a freaking. He recovers so quick, dude. He's like
he's tough. He's tough.
Yeah. Who recovers really well and just gets clipped all the freaking time? Like Nate the Train. Like recoverability is like amazing. Like someone like that. Like that's him.
Yeah.
Oh, who just fought and got knocked down crazy? Like Billy Goff. Another guy who just recovers crazy, like just like that. It's insane.
Yeah, sometimes like people will say it's the chin, but it's like Steve Garcia is just there to be hit. Like his chin's not bad, or he'd have like 7 knockout losses because he doesn't like move his head. He just comes at you in a straight.
Yeah. Don't need to trust the fighter, trust the process. I trust the process of the fighter. Is that okay? Okay, all right, co-main. We got Brad Tavares versus Jung Young Park, and it is your turn to go.
Interesting.
I think I know where you're going. I have a weird feeling. I think I know where you're going.
I'm actually surprised with where I'm going for this because, man, like Jung Young Park, he's been a guy for me. Like he's probably up there with one of the bigger winners for me as far as like I've bet him in almost all of his UFC fights. And I didn't bet him in the Gregory Rodriguez fight. I think I did have the over in that fight. I feel like I lost money in some sort of way in that fight, which was just so crazy. Like it looked like it was going to go over. And then he just said, like, you watched the moment where he was like, screw it, and just went for it and gets chinned. But, Iron Turtle, dude, it has been a guy that I've relied on a lot, and he's made me a lot of money. But I just cannot scratch this feeling that this is a bad matchup for him, man. Like, and maybe there's been too much dog energy to start this card, and that's what's carrying me to this. But I just I'm shocking myself that I'm gonna have to go against Iron Turtle in this fight because when Iron Turtle's winning these fights, he's getting like at least 3 takedowns. And like, who's the last guy that's taken Tavares down 3 times? I know he got taken down like twice in his last fight, a guy who beat both of them. But Gregory Rodriguez, like, come on, like that dude's a freak, bro. Like,
yeah.
That's a dude who like can take anybody down in the division. Honestly, he's freaking RoboCop, bro. Like he's got enough mixture of like strength, aggression, and wrestling to like take anybody down, and solid grappling. And that was a good fight. And the Tavares fight, like, yeah, that wasn't the best showing from Tavares for sure. But I don't know. I'm high on Gregory Rodriguez. So typically when you look at Tavares, like he's fought not only the best middleweights there's ever been, but some of the best wrestlers. And they're not just going in there and taking him down, man. And like stylistically on the feet, I feel like if Tavares isn't completely washed, he's probably the better overall striker. Now he can't bust a grape, so it's it's probably going over. I think this fight goes to the distance. So maybe you take whoever your side you're on, you take them by decision. I don't hate Tavares by decision, man. I was looking at it. Overall, you probably just don't get greedy, take the money line because it's not too much better. I think it was like plus 220, low, like under 250, and then the money line like plus 150, plus 160. Probably best to just not get greedy. But I really do feel like it goes over. Both guys tough, durable. I know Tavares' chin hasn't looked as good lately, but I think it's just a styles thing. I'd be kind of surprised if Park just like outstruck him, let alone knocked him out. I think he's going to be shooting takedowns, and Tavares, if there's one thing he can still do, it's defend takedowns, man. I mean, Chris Weidman might be shot, but he still can wrestle, and he couldn't take Tavares down, and most people can't. So I think Tavares is the side here, man, on the money line if you're betting it. I haven't bet him yet, but, I have Tavares written down. I have Tavares by decision. I have the over. I don't know if I'm going to end up putting any money on any of those three, but those would be the potential bets if I did. What do you think, man?
Yeah. When I first did the tape, I thought I was like overthinking it because I'm like, man, again, like you said, I always usually do well if I bet Park or if I bet against him. Like, I feel like I almost have a pretty good read on him. I think I might have missed on him once. And I was trying, while you were saying that, I was trying to figure out which bet I might have lost, but I can't find it. But yeah, I think this is a bad matchup for Park, like you said. I know Park likes to go for wrestling and takedowns. He does have decent striking, like he's pretty technical on the feet, but he just doesn't have that KO power. And yeah, Tavares has been KO'd 5 times, but look who he's getting KO'd to. Gregory Rodriguez, who Park got KO'd against, Bruno Silva, who hits hard. Ayman Shabazian, who actually hits hard on the feet. Like he gets, and Robert Whitaker, like he gets knocked out to these guys that are like really, really good or really, really good power punchers. But he's a decision guy. Like he doesn't really have the greatest power. He is pretty durable. He's tough. He doesn't get chinned. Like he's not going to get hit once on the chin and then get and fall down. You have to like over time, like keep hitting the chin, keep hitting it. Like it took Rodriguez a while into the early 3rd round to knock him out. And he landed a lot of good punches on Tavares to get him out of there. But again, takedown defense is going to play a part here against Park. And I think he can stuff a lot of Park's takedowns. Like if you really look at Park too, again, in any of his face-offs, he isn't really a middleweight. Like he's a small middleweight.
He is small. Yeah.
Tavares is going to be so much stronger, and he is bigger. He's like 3 or 4 inches taller with an inch reach or something like that. But yeah, if this fight's on the feet, I like Tavares is striking more. I think he's got good leg kicks. He can slow down Park a little bit. He's just going to have to be a little bit worrisome with the takedowns early. But like you said, the money line is looking good. I know some people are betting him. The money line's coming down a bit. I believe it's at plus 136. It was at like plus 160 at one point. But what I really, really like in this fight is Tavares 3.5 spread at minus 145. He's winning a round. Like he's winning a round.
Yeah.
100%. Minus 145. Like, come on.
Yeah, I do like that.
That's fantastic. Like, I love that bet. I love that play. You can play super safe. You can put like 3 units on it to win 2. Like, it is a fantastic play right there. I saw that today and I was just like, boom, it was done. Like, it was immediate.
Yeah,
like, I knew right away.
I
love, go ahead. I love the over in this fight too. I think both guys are super durable. Brad isn't dangerous, and I don't think Park's dangerous unless he gets the fight to the mat, and then he could be dangerous. So I just don't think it's going to happen. It might happen once, but I don't think anything crazy is going to happen to where like a rear naked choke happens or something like that. I see this fight going all 3, but give me Tavares in a very close decision. It might go to split, but I like him to win this fight at best 29-28 Tavares, because I do think he wins one round.
Yeah.
100%.
I
100%.
would be surprised if there's a finish or if, he just blows through Tavares. That'd be pretty surprising.
Yep. For sure. Let's see what we got. Man, a lot of people show. Let me get up there. I missed a lot. Okay. We got Tyler says, hell yeah, Johnny, America. See, America. Iron Turtle is kind of mid. Yeah, I mean, he's just solid everywhere again. He's one of those fighters where he's just good. He doesn't do anything amazing. I mean, he'll beat the cans 100%. He'll finish them all the time, but
Tavares decision above those cans.
Yeah, for sure. Tavares decision, that's a good play. I like that. Steve is from New Mexico. I knew he was a fraud. Turtle will not get takedowns. Let's get that money. Agreed. He might get one, but I don't think it's gonna do too much with it. Let's put it that way. Turtle was active during pandemic, so he gets love from the fans, but skills are We got Dirty Reg. What's up, Dirty? Said I'm flipping my pick to Turtle because if the striking's not going well for him, he can go for the takedowns. But is he gonna be able to get them? Is the question. But I see your reasoning now. I took Tavares money line. There you go. Parlaying some overs is where it's at. Yeah, for this one, I like it for sure. It does seem like Park would have to finish Tavares, and I don't see that. Agreed. Good time for Tavares parlay. Brad and Raymond. Oh, for next week, Tavares, Raymond Tavares, the Tavares parlay. Yeah, that's right. I like the 3.5. I do too. I saw that. I jumped immediately. That spread bet sounds like one of the most solid pieces you can use. 100%. I agree. Like I couldn't believe it was minus 145. Couldn't believe it. Maybe I thought it would be like minus 180.
Yeah.
Or worse. Like Jasmine last week, she was plus one. Well, it was probably closer to a pick when that came out, but she was like minus 250 for that plus 3.5 spread. So
wow.
I'm sticking with Brad. You guys convinced me. There you go. There you go, Dirty. We got this. You just ruined my day, Tyler. I spent 2 hours taping and trying to research that fight. Just kidding. Only thing that's not making me bet Tavares is his strike volume. Okay. I can see that, but man, I think he can land the better shots too. Personally, like the harder shots, maybe do a little bit more damage. I just don't think Park's that guy where he's going to be doing a ton of damage on the feet.
Yeah.
But Tavares is not a KO guy either. So like I said, this is where it could get close, which is why I like that 3.5 spread. Like he's winning around 100%. Unless he gets finished, which I don't see though. But all right, we'll go to the main card. Let me get there. Or main event, sorry. Amanda Lemos versus Verna Jandiroba. I will start this one off. But yeah, this is going to be a fun fight. Obviously, you got striker versus grappler. It's always the battle of two paths to victory. Clearly, Amanda's going to be the better striker with more power on the feet. She does have some sneaky submissions, but she's not going to be submitting Verna any day of the week here. She can slow down as the fight goes on. So after maybe a round and a half, she does slow down with her volume and her power kind of wanes a little bit. But she did go all 5 rounds with Wei Lee, which is also a good look. But man, that Durden fight was not the greatest look for her, I will say. And it does worry me here in this matchup because Verna is a much better positional grappler, at least. She also has very good submissions too. But yeah, she's definitely a grappler. She's going to be going for takedowns. Her striking is not good. But she knows that. And I see her shooting takedowns like immediately in this fight and trying to get this fight to the mat and try to wear down Lemos at least and get that power out of her. But I'm going with Verna. Like I just see takedowns happening. Durden was able to, get Lemos down a couple times, I think, and control her there. And Verna would control her way better than Durden, 100%. So I see the minute winner being Verna. I think Lemos needs a finish in this fight. It is 5 rounds, so you're getting a little bit of extra time for maybe Lemos to get a finish. But I mean, Verna can wrap up a submission too. It just depends on what Lemos gives her. So again, this is more like the minute winner here is going to be Verna. It's a women's MMA fight. I could see more takedowns from Verna. So I'm going with Verna. I think I said by submission later in the fight, but I could see a decision too. What do you think?
Yeah, man, I don't have a super strong tape for a main event, dude, here, honestly, man. I think it's 50-50. It's about as 50-50 as it gets for me. Because of that, I'm going to lean ever so slightly with the underdog. But again, like you said, bring up valid points. Verna should be able to get takedowns here. I do think the Mackenzie Dern fight probably is more good than bad for me because it is the last fight. You just got experience with somebody who is all out grappling, just submission hunting for 15 minutes.
Sub or nothing. But Verna's like the opposite. She's like position over submission. But
I feel like she used to be like sub or bust when I was watching her tape when she went to the UFC, but now she's kind of like tapered it down to, which is smart, like which is very smart.
She like controls the legs with her legs and like she just makes sure like you're not going anywhere. Like I got you.
Yeah, no, I do think she's kind of like settled into like taking her time more, and that's good. And I do think, you know, I've tried to fade Lemos in the past. I thought she lost the Angela Hill fight, but maybe I'm biased. I bet Angela Hill. I also bet Hill against Jandiroba.
Oh, Hill won that fight.
I thought Jandiroba. I thought, you know, fading both of them. I've tried to fade both of them. I've made money overall with Lemos for sure because I had a sizable bet on her against Dern, even though that was a little dicey.
And I kind of thought it could have went
either way. I remember that
actually.
Me and you were both saying.
I was like,
it got a little dicey. Even though
I'll take it.
They could have stopped that fight, like twice.
But to be fair, Dern's won a lot of fights too where she shouldn't have won.
Yeah.
And I think that might have been one that she just, like, not this time, Dern.
No. Even the Jandiroba fight, that was really good.
Dude, that was a close fight. I don't think Dern won against Tecia Torres either.
Yeah, I bet Torres in that, so I was biased, but I thought Torres won. But you know, it'll be a good fight. Striker versus grappler, classic matchup. I genuinely think that I'm like 51% Lemos, literally, just because like speed, athleticism, they're both older, but I think Lemos, you know, as long as she can avoid the submissions, I think she could either knock her out or just win a couple rounds off damage. It's going to be close. 5 rounds does make it sketchy. That's a lot of time to not get submitted. So I'm super, it's sketchy fight, man. I'll lean Lemos. You know, especially that she's a decent dog now, but it's a stay away from me, man. I got 4 spots locked in. I got like 7, 8 spots that I'm like looking at for the next couple days. We'll see. You know, I'm gonna stay away from the main event, man. Honestly, I think I thought maybe like an over 2 rounds or something. I think if there's a finish, it's probably a little later, but the line wasn't great. You could always got the chance of a Verna getting the back early or
Lemos early knockout.
Yeah, so probably just going to be a stay away from me, man.
Don't blame you. Don't blame me for that.
It's a fun card though. I mean, it's a low key like Apex card, but there's some fun matchups and some good betting spots. Honestly, I only have 4 spots locked in already, which is like a little light for me. I'm usually probably end up around like 7 bets on a card.
Yeah, I usually do about 7 as well. Yeah. Like the first Sunday when I put out my video, I had 5, and I usually never have 5 bets on Sunday. I usually have like 2, and then I work my way. I just got one today, so I'll have one more bet before fights. But I'm like choosing, like, is it going to be Coty Durden? Maybe. Is it going to be Usman if there's a line going down even more? It's going to be crazy. Yeah. So I'll have to check it out and see. Verna's so tough, and Lemos KO is plus 200. That's wild. But I really think Lemos needs a finish, personally. I don't think she's going to be able to win a decision. I think Verna has the opportunity to win by submission or decision because she's going to be winning the minutes, I think. And I think this fight will be on the mat. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Johnny, you worried about Verna's knee? Did she get injured or something?
Yeah, she had to pull out of the fight originally because of a knee.
Oh, when was that? Do you remember?
Let me look. I know it was in the last, I feel like she had a surgery.
You mean?
No, did she get surgery? I don't remember. She had a knee injury.
The last time she canceled fight was against Tatiana.
Yeah.
I think so that was Tatiana canceling though, right?
So I can't remember. Look at that, pull it up, because I feel like she might have actually pulled out.
I could be wrong. Oh, yeah, Jandiroba knee injury. But she fought after that and beat Lupita.
Yeah. And I mean,
did she have another surgery?
No, I don't think so. I think that's
okay. I'm not worried about the knee then. There's no way.
Yeah.
If she beat Lupita Godinez with after a knee surgery, I'm not worried at all. Unless she just re-injured it or something like that.
I don't think she re-injured it. But yeah.
I hope not. I feel like whoever wins will look minus 400. Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah. I could. I can
What's
see
up,
that.
Matt? Math. Hope you're all good, Johnny. Yes, sir. Talking fights. Appreciate you coming out, man. Let's see. I picked Lemos every time. I'm going to continue to do so. We're not on the same page, Dirty. Come on, Dirty. Come on, man. Sorry, I don't blame you. Do you guys ever factor in face-offs to your bets? No. I mean, it gives me a little more confidence, but I'm not going to be like, I'm picking this one now. I'm changing my pick because of
Yeah.
the face-off. Like, no.
Yeah, I mean, I like to see how people size up, but typically by that time, I already kind of know how it's gonna look. So
Yeah. And I already know going in, like, who's going to be the bigger fighter. Like, Cody's going to be a little bit bigger than Bruno for sure. Like, a
he's
couple inches
big for
bigger.
flyweight,
But
but yeah,
Bruno's like a
yeah,
stocky little guy. Like, he
he's
might be
solid.
wider.
Yeah.
Not wider. Chiesa minus 370 versus Ferguson. Should that be minus 600? I want to say yes, but man, what if like Ferguson, comes back from the dead, and I could see him finishing, getting a submission on Chiesa.
Yeah, I think
Like
Chiesa
a Darce
wins,
choke.
but
You never know. Like that, I'm staying far away from that fight.
yeah, no, I'm good. I'm not into that's just not my style. Parlaying a guy like Chiesa 4-1, like
It's like an old timers fight. In every old timers fight, like it's always not as hyped up, and it's never pays off, and it always goes to decision. And it's always a split, and
if
then
I'm
you're
betting
like,
it, I want big plus money when I'm betting a
yeah,
true skill
like
fight
no,
like that.
no, I'll stay away. But I do think Chiesa wins, but I don't want to lay that price. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
All right, man, we gotta do our bets. We gotta do our safe bet. What do you
Let's
like?
do
What are you thinking?
So as
Got
far as
anything
the
written
safe
down?
two-legger,
I mean, I like Maverick. I know you're not really super on board. I'm trying to think of what's some spots that you like. Doesn't matter what kind of odds they are. I know we're both on Garcia. Oh, you don't have okay. I mean, you like Garcia, but I'm pretty heavy on Garcia.
Yeah, I don't have him bet, but I might end up betting him. So I do think I'm pretty confident in him. I mean, he's more of somebody I'd be looking to bet straight, but putting him in a parlay, it's not a parlay card, but like there's not a lot of overs and unders.
Tavares over 2.5.
Yeah, I don't hate that. That was actually one I was thinking of before we even started the video.
Minus 230.
Yeah,
So
I don't hate
okay.
that. I think fight goes the distance is minus 190. I don't hate that.
For what?
For Tavares Park, isn't it? It at least was minus 190.
It is. Ooh,
it's been like a day since I looked at it, so. Because I do feel like that fight goes the distance. If I was to pick parlay pieces,
it goes a distance minus 200. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I would say if I'm picking two fighter parlays or two pick parlays, my picks at my top of my list would be Maverick, which is just scary for me. Like women's MMA does scare me. Lee, Algeo, but I haven't bet straight. Okay. Garcia, probably, yeah. I would honestly probably say that Tavares by decision or Lee if I had to pick a two fighter parlay. But if you want to do Maverick and then we could do the over in the Tavares, I'm cool with that. I do feel like Maverick wins. If gun to my head, I had to parlay one. I'm probably more confident in Lee than you are, and you're probably a little bit more confident in Maverick. But
I mean, I like the Tavares over. I think we're both high on that.
Yeah. We could do it
either fight
over.
Or fight goes the distance depending on like what extra juice we need to make it plus money.
Yeah.
I mean, I really like the plus 3.5 for Tavares too.
Yeah, I like that too.
And that's honestly a way better line, minus 145. And then we just need like a super safe, crazy parlay piece.
Yeah, as far as a super safe, man, this one.
I know. It's like one of the cards you're like, I don't know if there's anything super safe, man.
I mean, maybe the Maverick fight goes to the decision would be like one of the most safe props I can think of. because I really don't see a finish in that fight unless somebody gets to somebody's back, but or like a fluke armbar from the guard. But
yeah,
yeah, I would say like the safest over under.
What about like a Garcia under 2.5 in that fight?
Yeah, what's the line on that?
It's super juiced, minus 425.
Oh Jesus!
But if we did the Tavares plus 3.5, what would that be?
The only thing that scares me is Sungwoo Choi if he is able to slow it down. Like he's not. Like I feel like at those odds, I'd be more confident that Maverick and Barbosa goes the distance.
Why don't we just do the over in the Maverick and the over in a Tavares? Over 2.5, over 2.5.
Yeah, what's the difference in the over 2.5?
Oh,
fight goes the distance.
We might have to do decisions.
Yeah,
doesn't go to decision for both.
You mean does go to decision?
Does go to decision.
Yeah, I think both of those fights go to decision, man.
We could do that.
Those would
probably plus money, but I don't on DraftKings. It doesn't have that prop for Maverick fight yet.
I think it's like minus 300.
Yeah, if it's minus 300, and then Tavares is minus 200, that's like plus 100, I believe.
I have it written down for minus 300. Let me take a look. The Maverick fight.
At least on Bet Online, it's minus 300.
Yeah, Bet Online and Bovada, 2 books I use a lot. That's why I was thinking it. But
okay, you want to do that?
Yeah, I like that. I like both those fights going to decision.
Let's see, Maverick, Barbosa.
And then I do like that over 3.5 for Tavares. Though I do
too.
Honestly,
no, go. You go ahead. I'm just spreading. I'm spreading the word. Spread the word now.
Yeah, no, I like that. I like those over plus 3.5s. There's almost like always one fight on a card that I like that for, and this is definitely the one.
Yeah, for sure. If I was gonna say there might be one more, if you want to try to look for it, it would be the Ogden fight. Like Ogden might have that plus 3.5, and see what that line would be, because I think he wins a round 2, and I don't see a finish in that fight at all.
He's gonna win the 3rd round.
Yeah, and I think Tavares can win rounds 1, 2, or 3. Yeah. So he's gonna win one of them.
Yeah.
Let's see, Tavares. Park.
But for the scary parlay, for the risky parlay, because for the safe parlay, we're gonna run the 2 overs, right? There's 2 fight goes decisions.
Yeah, right. I put that up right here. It's gonna be about plus 100-ish. Hopefully, I'm just gonna wait till DraftKings puts out their props, but.
It's like at the moment minus 200.
Yeah, that'll be plus 100 on the dot.
Yeah.
So that's the safe one. Now we got the risky one. What do you think? Plus 300 or more?
Both legs you want plus 300 or more, or just one?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, both. What are you thinking? Like something crazy?
Okay, so let's not do the Tavares or Maverick fights since we have.
Yeah, I don't think there's the only thing that I would maybe do in the Tavares fight that's a little crazy would be Tavares by decision, but that's crazy.
Yeah. What's Garcia by knockout?
I think it's like plus 120. It's nothing crazy. Yeah, plus 120.
I knew it wasn't crazy. I'm just curious.
Let's see.
What's Usman by knockout?
Now that's crazy. Now we're getting to the craziness, but let's see. Usman knockout plus 350.
It's tempting, but
yeah, like the Bruno Silva submission's more tempting than the plus 350. That's 400.
What'd you say? Oh, Bruno Silva. Yeah, that it's hard for me to get around to it to parlay because it's a hedge spot for me. But you know, at the same time, I do think that's I mean, just grow a pair and go Ogden KO, bro. 16-1. Nah. Let's think here. That Kelleher sub, baby. That's 6-1. That's another juicy one.
That's great. I just wish he had a little bit more durability. Personally, I wouldn't mind it at all. Yeah, I don't know if there's a lot.
What's Kurt by knockout? or Kurt inside the distance.
Hmm.
Oh no, you like Kanan? Nah, we can't do
But
that.
it's okay. If the line's right, Kurt by knockout's only plus 350. Do you know
Yeah,
Kurt by submission is plus 700?
yeah,
That's wild to me.
it's because Kanan is a good grappler, but yeah, I mean, yeah. Kelleher, but the fight ends in sub for that Kelleher fight. I don't know what's that line. I mean, it's not a terrible look. The Usman KO. I wish that was a little juicier. What's the Lee by KO?
Lee by KO. You think he can get a KO on Amil?
Here is tough, but the way he fights, I think somebody's definitely gonna eventually chin him.
What do you think about? I don't know if that. Yeah, it's probably not gonna be great. Never mind.
Or Algeo inside the distance.
Algeo sub. That's what I was thinking of maybe doing.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh, it doesn't say on here. Let me look at it here. I really like the Algeo sub. And that is plus 500.
What's inside the distance?
Plus 300. We can be a little safe if you want.
Yeah, I mean,
you cool with that?
Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid leg. I think, the decision, everybody's obviously thinking decision, but the way Choi fights, I mean, I think he's always liable to get tagged or, get hurt, and then Algeo gets the back.
Yeah. I like it. So just need one more.
Algeo inside the distance, and then maybe for a 2. What's Garcia round 1?
I was just looking at that. Honestly, I was like, what about that? Let me look. Fight. Damn, plus 180. Gross.
That's it? Plus 180 for Steve Garcia round 1? What's KO round 1? Like plus 220?
Plus 180.
KO round 1.
Just round 1 for Garcia is plus 165.
Wow.
What if do you think this fight goes into round 2?
That's what I'm saying. What's round 2?
Just round 2. Fight ends in round 2 is plus 320 for either guy.
Steve Garcia KO round 2.
KO round 2 plus 750. No, wait. 700.
Okay.
I mean, we think this fight's one of these guys are getting a knockout.
I think someone's getting knocked out. Yeah.
Do you think it'll be a first or second round?
I lean first, but it could definitely be a second. The way Steve fights, I'm leaning first, but
Let me look at his stats here. Let's see. Do I think Choi can last? Honestly, Garcia has 5 first-round knockouts and 6 second-round knockouts.
Yeah. No, I mean,
and
Choi,
the way
he could last a little bit for sure. Yeah, I could see it.
Choi's been knocked out twice in the first, but he's been subbed once in the second and once in the third.
Yeah.
He doesn't really have a lot of knockout. Like, we'd be rude. So we would probably want to just do, well, it's not really that much.
What's the finish in the second? Just straight finish instead of KO.
By either guy? Or Steve?
Steve.
Dun, dun, dun. I think it was plus 650.
Plus 650.
So not too much. Just Steve Garcia in round 2.
What about you said fight? What's fight ends in round 2?
Plus 320. It's like half.
I kind of like that.
Fight ends in round 2.
Fight ends in round 2. I mean, gun to my head, I'm not gonna lie. I'd say it ends in round 1, but if it doesn't, and since the line's so much better on the fight to end in round 2, I'd be surprised if it goes to the third. So plus 300.
He was 9 seconds away of getting into round 2 in the Trezano fight where he got knocked out.
Yeah.
He got finished by Caceres in the second round. It was a rear naked choke. And like I said, Garcia has 6 second round KOs, 5 in the first and 1 in the third.
Yeah, no, I like fight ends in round 2, man. At 3-1, I think it ends in 1 or 2. And, at
We
those
just
odds,
sweat 5 minutes.
it's going to be a sweaty 5 minutes. But I think, honestly, it's either that or we go Usman KO. It's about similar odds. Which one do you think happens more often? Petersen's pretty tough, but
he is.
I do think he could walk into a shot, but I think probably got to go one or the other with those two. I mean, unless we're thinking Ogden inside the distance, because I know we're both on Ogden. I think that's like 5-1 inside the distance. He could definitely catch the sub. So
Ogden inside the distance.
I would say one of those 3. Usman
has Loic ever? Has he been finished?
I think
I feel like maybe once.
I think he's been chinned once.
Yeah, that's it. Dang it.
But I've seen him get tired.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. I mean, which of those 3 stands out to you the best? Usman KO, Ogden inside the distance, or fight ends round 2?
I think fight ends round 2.
Let's do it. I like it.
I'm just seeing if I can find something like a little better on the Steve Garcia fight. Like maybe there's something that we're kind of missing. Let's see.
Or yeah, what's fight doesn't start round 3?
It's probably
or under 2.5.
Under 2.5 is like minus 400. Yeah.
Yeah, it was juice. Never
mind. Fight to end in the first 60 seconds of round 1 is plus 500.
That's awful.
I thought that has to be more than that. I will never play plus 500 on that.
That is awful. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at this fights. Kruschewsky by decision. What was that? Because we
both
Kruschewsky wins plus 275.
That's what it is right now?
Yeah.
That's not bad either. Which out of those legs is jumping out to you? I feel like you're not liking the Usman KO, so we'll take that.
I don't think I do, because I just don't think he's going to be able to land that shot early, and then once it gets in the second round, it's just like that bet's done. I think he needs an early finish.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't trust his striking enough to land. I trust his power, but I just don't trust his accuracy, if you want to say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would say either Ogden inside the distance plus 500 or
I think we should just do round 2.
Round 2.
Let's not overthink it. Let's not overthink it. That's where we get into trouble. How about that?
Let's do it.
Fight ends in round 2. Garcia, Choi. I don't know what the odds will be, but this is going to be the
what is it? Plus risky. 300 and plus.
I think they're both plus 320 and plus 300. So probably around. Yeah, I don't know what that'll be. That might be a little bit
plus 300.
Yeah, 300 and 320.
That'll get us plus 1580.
I like it. That's what we need.
So $100 wins you $1,580.
I mean, I ain't betting 100 on it, but
Just throwing that
But I'll
out
bet a
there.
little bit of beer money. No big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But all right, man. That's we got our bets in, we got all the fights in. Appreciate everybody coming out. You want to say something before we get out of here? Where what you're doing and where you're at?
Yeah, I do the breakdowns every UFC card. I am starting to do more often the smaller promotions. People have been asking for them because like nobody really does them like that, which I get.
Yeah.
It's harder to do. You can't do them early in the week because so many fights drop off. The lines drop late. You know that you end up with an entire different card. Not to mention, it's a lot of fighters you got to watch tape on. Like in the UFC, half these guys or 90% of these people I already know. So you know, I'll watch a fight or two in tape, but I don't need to sit there and watch a ton of tape.
Yeah.
I'm doing KSW, Cage Warriors, and Octagon this week. So it's been a lot of tape. Now I am doing like mostly just the main card mainly just because like so many of the prelims end up changing and getting swapped around, and I end up doing hours of tape and then the fight gets canceled. So
yeah, I'd be mad.
Yeah. So I will be, if you want to check out KSW, Cage Warriors, Octagon, I'm going to be doing a little breakdown and showing some bets for all of them. Check that out on my channel. And then also, obviously, UFC as always. Twitter, YouTube, all that's below. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me again. It's always fun. Just chopping it up. Friggin', I'm looking forward to these fights, man. It's an Apex card, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, good to have you back on the show. It's been a while, so I wanted to get you on one of these days. Yeah, definitely appreciate everybody showing up, hanging out with us, participating in the chat. Hopefully we give you some good intel, some good plays that you can bet this week on a card that I know a lot of people aren't really excited for, but there are some bad fights like don't bet on, but there are some very good spots. Tavares plus 3.5 spread. Do it.
I like it.
But yeah, definitely check out Coty. Like he said, go to Coty Dankh on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. The link is below in the description where you can find them and hit the sub button. It's free, easy money. There you go. We'll get out of here. Appreciate you guys. Take care. Good luck on your bets. Let's go.
Appreciate y'all.